Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Community Connections, community talk for community people. It is the fastest and most friendly weekly 1 hour talk show in the Great Lakes Bay, Saginaw region. I am so glad that you tuned in this afternoon for another sharing of community talk and information. I am Joyce Harvin. Today's Community Connections show is brought to you by the Saginaw branch of the NAACP and its Youth Council. And they have an event coming up in January. I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later on. We urge you to get connected, be informed, and stay involved. Now, I have to ask, how was your Christmas? And for me, this was an unusual Christmas with COVID hanging over my head and getting into our bodies. I've been around people who had COVID and were showing symptoms of COVID, coughing and like all that kind of stuff. I didn't want to be around them, but I am safe and secure. I certainly hope that you made it through this Christmas without any of that happening in your life. Christmas is a spiritual and in the celebration and the honoring of the day that Jesus was born. And it is great that for young ones who look forward to Christmas and getting those gifts, that is what it's about. But I hope that you had a wonderful time with your Christmas celebration and your family. I hope that those who have not been vaccinated will go out and get vaccinated. Those who have not gotten their booster shots, get your booster shots, please, please, please. My daughter couldn't come and see me for Christmas because someone in her office came down with COVID and everybody had to get quarantined. So Tanya had to stay at home, and I really, really missed her. And we had Christmas over the internet on Zoom. So we had a pretty good time. Speaking of celebrations, please do not forget about Kwanzaa, the Kwanzaa celebration presented by the Saginaw African Cultural Festival. And Kwanzaa started today. You may remember my guest, Wesley Spencer, from last week, who shared with us the reason for Kwanzaa. It's a cultural celebration, and he shared the 7 principles. One is practiced each day from December 26th, which is today, through the 31st, and ends with a celebration and gift giving to children on the 31st. And so on the 31st, Kwanzaa will be celebrated for that last night at First Ward Community Center, which is located at 1410 North 12th Street, our beloved First Ward Community Center. And there will be free entertainment, food, workshops, and lectures. So we invite you to attend that. Please bring out your young children and show them our celebration in the community and all over the country that Black people do. Okay. It is a really nice event. I'm so glad that First Ward Community Center was open and available. Now, if you have any questions about what goes on the rest of the week, today is Umoja, which is unity, which means to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Okay. Now, if you would like more information, you can look it up online, but you can call this number. The number is 989-332-8971. You can get more information about what's going on the rest of the week and how you can tap into all of the celebrations for the rest of the week. Again, it's from today, December 26th through the 31st. And the celebration is at First Ward Community Center from 4 to 7 p.m. on December 31st. Again, it is free food, entertainment, food, workshops, and lectures. Now, let me tell you about my guests for today. I have a calling guest. I don't have anyone in the studio today, but I have a calling guest. He is a comedian and podcaster. His name is Dick Dickerson. For transparency, I want you to know that Dick Dickerson is my nephew, and he's coming back to Saginaw to perform. Many of you have seen Dick Dickerson, RJ, as we know him. He attended schools here in Saginaw and was on the football team at Saginaw High, coached by Coach Lee Arthur. But let me just tell you about him In a few minutes, he will be calling in. He is a Michigan native and Colorado-born comedian. Dick Dickerson will have you in comic tears from the struggle of living with the name Dick and horror stories of past employment to how he overcame obstacles throughout life. Dickerson has become one of Michigan's rising stars and has performed at notable comedy clubs over the years, including Uptown Comedy Club in Georgia, Relapse Comedy in Atlanta, the Punchline Comedy Club in Atlanta, the Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta, and the Temple Theater here in Saginaw, Baker's Keyboard Lounge in Detroit, the Haha Cafe Comedy Club in North Hollywood, and several other places in California, Connecticut, and Ohio. Columbus Funny Bone Comedy Club in Ohio. He resides in the Ohio area, but coming up on New Year's Eve, he is going to be performing at Rita's Southern Soul Cafe. So when he found out that he was going to be at Rita's, he called me to let me know and notified all the family members. And so we said that we're going to go out and support him. And I told him, I want you on the show and talk about how you came to be a comedian and why you wanted to be a comedian. So we're going to talk about that and what he's been doing. So again, stay tuned to Community Connections. He's going to be calling in about 2 minutes, and we'll get started with this interview. I want to tell you about one other event that's coming up, put on by the NAACP Youth Council. So all of you young people and parents who are parents of young people, please put down on your calendar and remember this date, January the 9th. We are going to have a forum of young people giving information about the HBCUs, the historical Black colleges and universities that they have attended, and that they're still attending. We have kind of hammered out a theme that we want to explore. It is, I believe it is, I don't know if it's gotten approved yet by our president, but we are living the life of our ancestors, the impact of the dreams of our ancestors, the impact of HBCUs on our life since they've been attending there. So we're going to have a forum of young people from Saginaw and across the country who will give us information, impart some information to you. Now, this is going to be virtually. The flyers will be out and we will make sure that you have that information, but we want you to attend. Please put that on your calendar. Those of you who are advisors of youth groups across the city, please make sure that you let your youth groups know about this event. In the past, this has been an in-city or in-church event where we've gone to local churches. They have invited us in to host, but because of COVID, we are doing this virtually this year. Now, I am a co-advisor for the NAACP Youth Council on the executive committee, and I have other co-advisors. One is Rhonda Butler. Hey, Rhonda, I hope that you are listening. And I also am a co-advisor with Janice Anderson and also Lisa Coney. Those are the four co-advisors, along with myself, that work with the Youth Council. And we work with the advisors throughout the city who are over youth groups. We invite you to attend this year, and it's going to be virtually. And we want you to participate. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions as well as listen to the information that they have about their experience attending a HBCU and why you might consider attending a HBCU. What else? There's some other things going on that I want to talk about, but I'm just looking forward to my nephew calling me and letting me know the phone is ringing. I am so happy. RJ?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Dick Dickerson, how you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I am doing fine. I'm so happy that you could join me this afternoon. I've already given a partial introduction about you and where you have performed. I also want to say that Dick Dickerson is making his mark in this industry as a comedian, but it's no easy task. However, Dick Dickerson has since landed a feature in a short film called Crossing Over and has had the opportunity to perform with comedians such as Bill Bellamy, Eddie Griffin, Red Grant, DC Young, Fly, Kenneth Howell, and many, many others. So, right now, I want to bring to the mic, let's connect through comedy with Dick Dickerson. Let's give him an applause. Thank you for being here. RJ, it's hard for me to call you Dick Dickerson, so I call you RJ. That is his name. But now, please, I wanted to talk with you. I wanted to talk with you about how you decided to become a comedian. Why a comedian? You know, you were in flag football. You tried some other areas of entertainment. How did you end up wanting to be a comedian? Talk to us.
Okay, so growing up in Saginaw was it was a little different from what I used to be because I wasn't born in Saginaw, but I was raised there.
Raised right here. That's correct.
So once I arrived to Saginaw, it was a little different, and I always was funny. Always liked making people laugh. Always got in trouble. Always got out of trouble for making people. Being a stand-up comedian was never a dream of mine. Never what I thought that I would be telling people around the world. That was not to do. I was to go military, like my and.
RJ, you're kind of going in and out. Are you on a landline phone?
No, I'm on the cell phone. Can you hear?
You're going in and out. I want to make sure that people can hear you and understand what you're saying.
Am I still going in and out now?
No, you're good now. You sound good.
Okay. So, I just like making people laugh. So making people laugh was my thing. I did a couple of things. Like I wanted to go to the military. That didn't work out. I played semi-pro football. That didn't last a whole long time. That didn't last a long time. So I had to find something that I was great at. And comedy was screaming my name.
Okay. All right. Now, you said that you didn't want to go to the military, but you come from a military family. You're a military brat, right?
I wanted to go, but when I applied, at the time, which was 2007, it wasn't the right decision because we were going straight to war then.
Okay.
And my dad was like, "Don't go, son, because they ain't gonna treat you right. They're just gonna send you out there and you ain't even gonna know what you're doing for real. So don't go." And I had to find something else to do with my life because I thought I was going to the military my whole life.
I see. So when you were in school and were you acting funny in school or getting in trouble in school because you were always funny? Is that where you started?
Yeah, definitely. I always wanted to be the funny dude. I always wanted to make people laugh, and that was just my spirit. Mm-hmm. That's just who I am. That's just who I am. When I walk in the classroom, people laugh at me for no reason. I ain't even say nothing. That used to irritate me. But
they would just laugh at you for no reason.
No reason. Oh, there go RJ. No, man. Like I didn't even say nothing, or I would try to answer a question, and I didn't know the answer. But look at him raising his hand. Well, what you gonna say? The answer.
Now, you have performed at the Temple Theater. What was that like? How were you received by your family here in Saginaw? When I say family, I'm talking about the whole community.
As in, like when I first started stand-up?
Yes.
Oh, man, there was no support at all. there's no support at all because everybody thinks they're funny. And now you got me saying, hey, I'm a stand-up comedian. Now everybody's like, oh, I could do jokes too. So like at first it wasn't no support, but I grind as hard as I can to try to show everybody like this is something that I really want to do. This is something that I'm doing. This is something that I'm doing. This is something that I'm doing. And I just want to keep pushing at it. So once I kept pushing at it, now people's eyes are a little open right now.
Okay.
Now they're like, okay, you really doing this? Yes, this is something that I'm really doing.
Did you have to prove yourself here in Saginaw for a long time before you were able to go on the road? And where did you start after leaving Saginaw?
I'm still trying to prove myself to Saginaw at this point.
Well, you'll have an opportunity to do that on December 31st.
Yes, I will. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Like people, it is hard because like the city we from, people we don't respect process. They respect the process. I mean the progress. So they don't like they are. Oh, that's what you're doing. All right, whatever. We all could do that. But then now people are really seeing it, and now I'm really getting booked. I'm getting questions. People question me like, well, okay, well, how long have you? And then I'm like, then when they find out, they're like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, because I was doing free shows here for a long time.
Yeah, you performed at the Saginaw African Cultural Festival one summer a few years ago. You were on stage, yeah. So
that's a funny story behind that.
Oh, tell me about that.
So we were promised payment,
mm-hmm.
and this is when the game opened my eye. I'm like, oh, this game is crazy. We were promised payment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're gonna pay you $50 for this show.
Okay.
And I'm like, cool. I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. I just started. I'm like, okay, $50. So after we get there and we do the show, she comes up to us like, sometimes you gotta do things for your community for them to get to know you. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And we never got paid.
I never got paid. Is that why you didn't come back to the festival?
Oh no, that's not why I didn't come back.
Okay.
I didn't come back because it was a weird environment, and I wasn't ready then. That was like my first year.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for nothing like that. I had to go clean. All I knew was dirty jokes and dirty this, dirty that. So I didn't even know how to change my genre of jokes up then.
Right.
But now, oh yeah, I would destroy that now.
So you still have the name. You will always have the name of Dick Dickerson. Okay. So have you ever thought about changing that because your beginning career?
My name?
Yes.
Nah.
Calling yourself something else instead of Dick Dickerson?
Nah, because I wouldn't want to call myself Richard Dickerson because that's just corny. And I believe Dick Dickerson stands out. Can I give you a little history on the name?
Sure.
Okay. So actually, Dick was actually a name for Richard. It was a nickname for Richard before it was preferred as a Gentile.
Yeah.
Like actually, because names rhyme. You know how you call Robert Bob, Rob and Bob. And with Dick, it went from Rick to Dick. And Dick was the nickname for Richard before it was preferred as a private part. So that's when people do get a little uneasy about my name, but we have many people in our history, Dick Gregory, Dick Cheney, Moby Dick, all those. We have all those, and those all were Richard. Maybe not Moby Dick, but Dick Cheney definitely was a Richard Cheney. His name was not Dick. His name was Richard. So, I mean, once people get comfortable with it, they know.
What is your comedian act about? What kind of jokes are you telling now? How are you making people laugh?
I preferably go towards the struggles of living with my name
Mm-hmm.
and how my name gets me into weird different situations. Jobs, of course. I got a little urban in there, a little hood comedy in there, a couple sprinkled every now and then in there, but it just really depends on what kind of crowd I'm with. Like if I'm with a family orientated crowd, then I'm doing my family orientated jokes. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing my urban, loud, Def Jam crowd, then you're gonna get that Bernie Mac out of me, you know. So
You're bringing up names from the past. Who do you pattern yourself after, if anyone? And who's your favorite comedian? Or who was your
uh,
favorite comedian?
I really like D. Ray Davis.
D. Ray Davis.
D. Ray Davis is definitely on one of my top comedians. I just feel like because we're both from the same areas. He's from Chicago. I'm from Saginaw. Of course, Chicago and Saginaw both have the same type of problems when it comes to violence and being a black man to
Mm-hmm.
making it out of that violence. So D. Ray Davis, I really respect Kevin Hart. Really respect what he has done to get to where he's at. It literally took Kevin Hart 11 to 12 years just to get him to pop that one good time. And after that time, it went in. And I'm 7 years in right now. So, I feel like I'm knocking on that door right now.
Okay. Okay.
I'm knocking on that door right now.
Now, when do you see comedians going back and helping other people to come up to be a comedian? Do they give them breaks? Have you had a
Uh,
break from other comedians that helped you along the way?
I've had a few breaks, nothing that was like too major, too big, but it was big enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's big enough for me. I've had a situation where I've went on stage and opened up for a big comedian,
Oh.
and they told me that they didn't want me to open up for him no more because they didn't want anybody with that much energy to go on before him.
Uh-huh.
And that's where we got to talking about showbiz, and I didn't even know it was cut like that. But that's what they would do. They would put a comedian on that's not that well,
Mm-hmm.
so the next comedian, the headliner, can look extra good.
I see.
So,
I got you, but you stood out, huh?
yeah, I did. Yeah, they was like, yeah,
No,
we can get you booked somewhere else, but you can't be open. You can't be doing all that because we need. He didn't want to work that hard tonight or something like that. I don't know. They get weird.
are the open mics that take place across the country, are they still a stepping stone for those who want to get into comedy?
Yes, if I highly recommend open mic for any comedian, any singer, any rapper, anybody that wants to perform and actually be on those big stages.
Mm-hmm.
Open mics is definitely where it's at. It's like the homework of entertainment.
Okay.
That's where you go do your homework. That's where you go train. Oh, okay, this didn't work. Okay, let me sing it like this. Okay, this note didn't sing right, so let me sing it like this the next night. So open mics is definitely a big part of being an entertainer for me.
So do you entertain or perform before older crowds, or is it just the younger crowd that you are going for?
Rarely do I get a younger crowd
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Rarely do I get a younger crowd. So there's more older folks like 50 and up, like 50 and up.
Is that all?
Yeah, I didn't been booked and been surprised, but I've been booked by grown people though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the youngest I've seen is sometimes is like if I'm talking older crowd, it's probably like the youngest gonna be like 37, maybe 35. So it'll be a whole bunch of people that already been through what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy for them to laugh at what I have to say, knowing that they already know everything that I'm probably about to say, because, you know, they've lived a longer life than me. So when you can make an older crowd laugh, it really does something for me.
Well, now with an older crowd, are you giving the same type of performance, or are you using different jokes? And who listens to your jokes when you come home?
Okay.
Come home to Saginaw.
Okay, so when I'm with an older crowd, like it really varies sometimes, because sometimes I like to feed off the energy of the comedians that went before them to see what can I say and how can I say it. But I've had a situation. This happened actually in Michigan. I can't even Chesaning. We were in Chesaning, Michigan.
You were in Chesaning, Michigan.
Yeah, doing a charity show at the library.
Okay, all right.
Doing a charity show at the library.
That's a good place.
Crazy places, but the library was big. They had a little hall, and it was big and nice. So one of the comedians was like, "Bro, look at all these old people." Oh no, man, he was mad. So the mayor came up to me and was like, "I heard one of you guys call us old." I was like, "I did not. I didn't say that. I said I didn't say that." And he's like, "No, calm down. I said, let's listen to me." I said, "All right." He said, "I heard one of y'all say that we were old." He was like, "Listen." He's like, "We might be old, but we're young in heart." And he looked at me with that eye, and I looked at him, and I said, "So say whatever." He said, "Say it all."
Okay.
So like I know that's what I go for, and usually it always works out. I didn't had 73-year-old lady come to me and say, "Baby, I just seen Dave Chappelle and I watched him and he is great, but you are funny, young man. Keep it going." After all the vulgar stuff I just said on stage, "Ma'am, are you serious?"
Boy.
Yes.
Okay. So how about your mom? No, tell the world who your mom is.
My mom is my joke critiquer.
Okay.
That's who I go to tell my jokes to, and sometimes she tell me, "No, that's not funny," and I think it's funny, and I wasn't the most well-behaved child in the world, so I always tend to go against the grain. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when I do fix it, I do tell my mom. But she never gives me like a big, "Oh boy, that's funny." Like she's like, that's if she do that, I know I got one. If I just get a okay, but then if I just get them crickets, I'll be like, all right, I shouldn't even call her. I'm gonna call somebody else, because she don't know where I'm coming from.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Now, you mentioned to me when we had a few minutes to talk, you said that 2 or 3 times a week you are on stage not practicing, but actually performing.
Yeah.
How does that work out with your schedule? And do you do other, when you're not performing, okay, what else do you do? I know that you were going to move to Connecticut and that didn't work out. So what are you doing in between jobs?
So what I'm doing when I'm not on stage, I'm either door dashing or making money in other means legally. Let me put that out there.
Yes.
So legally, just fine. I also do security, unarmed and armed security. I just recently started that, and that really is keeping me ahead of the game.
Is that at a club or somewhere?
It's everywhere.
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 Okay, gotcha. So, becoming a comedian, I would think that you want to make people laugh. Why do you want to make people laugh? Do you see something there that we don't have?
At first, I don't. I wasn't really trying to make people laugh growing up. Like that was one of the things. Like when I come into class, everybody, that wasn't me. I wouldn't. That's just my persona. That's just the way I carry myself. People, especially when I'm angry, people love me when I'm angry. People laugh at me. I can't even stay angry sometimes. Now it's very rewarding. You know, I feel like laughter is healing. People need to laugh. People really need to laugh. When I'm mad and I laugh, I feel great. When I laugh, I feel good. It feels good. You get this good feeling in your stomach. You get this good feeling in your heart. Sometimes you want to cry when you laugh. That's how healing laughter can be. You may not have cried in weeks, but you go see a comedian that you might like, and they might make you cry. But it's a happy cry. Right. And at the end of the day, that always makes me feel good. Especially, like I said, like the older lady, she was like 73, and she was like, I had a terrible day. I had a terrible day today, but after seeing your show, yeah, something is wrong with you, and I enjoyed myself. And I like telling my story. Like my comedy is my story of my life. My comedy is really my life, and so I mean, it's funny. It's funny to people. It really, really happens. And I'm passionate about everything I say on stage.
You are passionate about everything that you say on stage because a lot of it, a great deal of it is really about your life.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Now, are you mixing new and old materials? And do you talk about family?
I am waiting till I become famous to tell my family jokes, because these jokes they can't, regular people can't have these. I gotta wait till I'm famous to tell my jokes about my family, just solely because I need to be able to be where I can't get reached at on stage at that time, because I don't want to be snatched up. My dad is already, I do jokes about my mom, my dad, and my sister, but I haven't dug into my immediate family yet. And I'm making sure I'm gonna have everybody sign contracts. Like, listen, if I say something about you that bad, you feel like it's you, here, you got some money, leave me alone. We gonna all get this money together. But no, I do not talk about my immediate family yet. And I'm waiting for them to tell their story. I'm not even gonna have to say it, because I'm gonna have a camera with me everywhere I go when I get. And I'm gonna tell everybody, this is my family, and I'm gonna have a TV show, and my family gonna have more money than me, because they gonna prosper off of that.
Yes, it sounds like you're talking about success. Is that what success is, and what it feels like for you, for a comedian?
Yes. Success for me is what that's gonna feel like when I know I can put other people in winning positions just like me. I'm fine, because if people really, for real, if people really think I'm funny, they haven't met my family. I'm probably I'm the bottom. I'm at the bottom. I've learned from all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I have a couple of serious questions. These are things that I really want to understand about people who are comedians, who stand up before crowds, people they've never seen before, and they just keep them laughing. But what happens when a joke bombs? How do you recover from that?
Okay. You ever see how the little pin is when the earthquake is going? When the earthquake is, how that pin is?
Right.
When I bomb, just imagine your brain and that pin going up and down and scribbling left or right, because you dig and you don't know what to say. You don't know how to get the crowd. You're like, okay, I just said something wrong, or I said something the wrong way. What do I do? Sometimes like I said, I might acknowledge it, like, oh, y'all didn't like that. And that might get them a laugh, but I just try to keep it pushing, move on. Don't show no emotion. I'm gonna act like it didn't even happen. I'm gonna go on to the next joke, because if I know that ain't happened, then I know I better pull a good joke out my bag, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Or okay. I might do what all comedians do. Hey, what you drinking tonight?
Well, now what happens when you get a heckler in the crowd? How do you handle that?
And everybody handles hecklers different. A great comedian knows how to really bang, ba-boom, shut them down. At this point in my life, I would just I like to slap hecklers, or get the security, get him up out of here, because I don't even want to deal with it. But honestly, I've had hecklers in my last couple of weeks of comedy, and I just let the crowd take care of them for real. I just keep going at my set because I know my laughter is gonna overcome them. Then everybody gonna be looking at them like, oh, you ruining the show, and eventually they're gonna feel those vibes and be like, all right, let me shut up. I tried to be a part of the show. I'm not gonna let no heckler be a part of my show. This is my show. They paying me. They ain't paying you. So I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to talk during my time, because when I come to McDonald's, I don't sit up there and pull the headset down and tell you how to order the meal. So.
Okay, all right. So if you just tuned in to Community Connections, community talk for community people, I am talking with Dick Dickerson. He is a comedian, and a podcaster, and he is going to be on the show for the New Year's Eve party or celebration at Rita's Soul Food Cafe. He is my nephew. For transparency's sake, I want you to know that, and I'm so proud of him. He is my nephew. He was born. Where were you born, RJ? In Turkey. Colorado Springs. Janisha was born in Turkey, right?
No, Janisha was born in
that's his sister,
Savannah. Where we went straight out there. That was a different life too.
Yeah, I bet it was. Do you talk about that?
When I want to be intelligent around my light skinned folks and they don't know who I really am,
okay,
and I have to let them know who Richard Dickerson really is.
Well, listen, I need to hold that point. We're going to talk about different audiences when we get back. I need to take a break. You're listening to Community Connections, community talk for community people. Stay tuned. I'm talking with Dick Dickerson, comedian.
You're listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1.
It's straight talk, straight with no chaser. It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen, getting right to the heart of the matter, giving you all of what's happening in Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region, all at a grassroots level. Sundays at 6 p.m. on KISS 107.1.
It's the final days to get your best deal of the year and exceptional trade-in value during the year-end sales event at Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City. While other dealers are running out of cars and SUVs, Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City has a great selection of new Mitsubishis with more arriving daily. So we will do deals that others won't, like the all-new 22 Outlander ES, an SUV with third-row seating, super all-wheel control for just $239 a month with the Showcase Mitsubishi 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City says come and get it. We're the home of credit forgiveness. If you have a job bringing home $400 a week, we'll push to approve your credit even if your credit is less than perfect. Only at Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City, the home of credit forgiveness and America's lowest priced SUVs. Get pre-approved right now at showcasemitsubishi.com. Up to $30,000. No social required.
Includes factory rebate, 36 months, 10,000 mile per year lease, $44.90 assigning plus tax, title, and license, zero security deposit with approved cash.
Rita's Southern Soul Cafe. Come out and enjoy a night to remember at Rita's Southern Soul Cafe New Year's Eve Gala grand opening, located at 110 North Washington Avenue, Saginaw. Enjoy a dinner, live entertainment, and party favors December 31st. Purchase your tickets in advance or at the door. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Dress to impress. There will be a best dressed contest, female, male, and couple. This event is for the grown and sexy. For more information, call 313-693-7466. See you there. Rita's Southern Soul Cafe.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms could mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
And now back to Community Connections on KISS 107.1.
You're back with Community Connections, Community Talk for Community People. And my guest this afternoon is none other than my nephew, not nephew Tommy, but nephew Dick Dickerson, comedian. How are you doing? You still with me?
I'm fine.
Okay. We talking about different audiences. Now, you are actually performing for an African American audience, but you do perform before a lot of white audiences. How does that work out for you? What is your comedian show like? And how do they respond?
Sometimes with the white people, it's fun because you get to go into deeper depth about a situation or a word that they don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like in the middle of telling a joke, oh, I'm sorry, let me explain it to y'all like this. But in reality, like my comedy is really just, I just take out the culture words, and I just use their culture with their culture, and I use my culture with my culture because I've been on both sides of the fence, so it's easy for me to relate to urban folks just as much as it is to relate to the white people.
I see. You ever had any hecklers from that crowd?
No.
I
have, but they just want to be a part of the show. They don't mean nothing by it. I remember. And then and then you got to be careful with them because they'll tell their whole story on stage.
You're right.
Like,
right.
You like what's your name? My name's Billy. My dad's name is Bob. And we got 3 cars and we both work at the house. I'm like, hold on now. Didn't act all that. So and they pay good. They pay good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They're not that quick as to judge you.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also tell you telling comedy to black folks is a little different because you got to really come with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because black people, we are funny and we know we funny.
Right.
So, you got to really come with it. But I've also seen how a white person gets the same treatment from the white people and how we also laugh at them easier than their own people laugh at them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's crazy. I was like, oh, y'all go through the same thing. Like white people don't think white people funny.
Okay. All right. Well, you are or have been in the presence of many great comedians. Who most admired by you from those? Let's start with Richard Pryor and Dick Gregory, down to some of the people that you are starting to meet with, at the same time, who are just getting into the comedic act or business. Who do you admire most, or do you pattern yourself after anyone who has made it and made it big?
Red Fox. I like his punching, the way he punches you in the mouth with his comedy, and how bold he was, and how quick it was. It wasn't a long story, and that's who I like to see. I feel as when I'm telling my jokes and I'm moving on to subject, and it's not a whole bunch of long, drawn out stories. So Red Fox, of course, Richard Pryor definitely painted the way. I watched Richard Pryor a lot when I first started comedy, and then I was looking at his style, and I was like, that's not too much of my style. So I just really like all styles. One of my favorites was Jim Carrey. Oh my gosh, his stand-up is amazing. If you ever get time, just get on YouTube and look him up. Not his first stand-up, but when he used to do stand-up, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was old Jim Carrey, of course, the kings of comedy. And And now the people that I really look up to right now, and that really got me inspired, is a comedian by the name of Mike Sampson out of Chicago. And he just recently was named King of Chicago. And the last King of Chicago, from what I recall, was actually Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac, okay.
Yeah, so that Bernie Mac is definitely someone that was funny too. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac. Definitely, I catch myself when I'm angry. I call it. I said, let me get in my Bernie Mac mode. I'll be upset, but Mike Samp is definitely one of my inspiring comedians, and actually people that are just around me for real. My team, my aura, everybody else around me, man. I want to go up. You know, actually, I've seen Michael Blackston and I cannot remember this dude's name, but it's the white dude that's real, Gary Owens. Michael Blackston and Gary Owens actually came up together in the comedy game, and I feel like that's gonna be me and my home. And when I see that, and they talk about all the crazy shows and places they done did shows at, I was like, that's the stuff I'm going through right now, and I know, and that's big inspiring to me because I'm like, look at them, look where they at now. You know, you just got to keep pushing and keep going. As long as I keep myself surrounded by those type of people, I'm not gonna miss a beat.
All right, sounds like a winner. But just this last question, a few questions that I have. How do you prepare for moving yourself up? Do you take classes? Do you see other comedians in classes? Do they go to classes that improves their performance?
Definitely so. Always when there's an opportunity in the city I am, and it's comedians offering classes, yes, I'm taking those classes. I mean, I'm not in real school, you know what I'm saying? I ain't doing nothing else. Why not? You go find a way to sharpen your material, sharpen your life. You know, these people that are teaching comedy, they're teaching it for a reason. You know, they're teaching because they know what they're talking about.
Right.
And I watched him, Mark Gregory, which is Dick Gregory's nephew. Mark Gregory, man, he gave me a lot of opportunities in the game. He when I first started, he told me what it was straight up, and this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be, and you gonna roll with it or you not. So shout out to Mark Gregory. He just dropped his stand up, I believe, on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, but he definitely just dropped a recent one, and it's big. And yeah, I would go to a class. I don't know when I'll not go to a class, you know. And if it's affordable, I'm going.
Okay. Always room for improvement, huh?
Always.
What?
I took the same class that Mr. Brown. What was Mr. Brown? What's his real name?
Mann. Last name is Mann. He's the husband of Tamala Mann, gospel singer.
Yeah, Mr. Brown. He to this day has taken the same class. He was in the same class, learning how to better critique his comedy.
Right.
That was amazing to me.
Right.
That was amazing. Another person that's named Joshua Adams out of Detroit, Michigan. Oh my gosh, hilarious dude. But when I first started the comedy, then he was already there. He was already doing big sellout shows, but he was still at open mic, tearing them down. And I said, yeah, that right there, I would never forget seeing that. And that right there is a real hustler, someone who's really ready to work. And I always strive to do that.
Very good. Well, listen, my time is almost up. I do want to thank you for spending this hour with me this afternoon, telling us about becoming a comedian. Okay. And so I'll know when you're successful when I see a big Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini show up at my house, family doing well. That's what you said, right? That you've made it to the top, right?
There we go. That's where I get it from. There we go.
Well, it's just been a pleasure. You know, I have been asking you for an interview for a little while. I'm so glad that you are going to be here.
Can I say one more?
Yes.
One more thing.
Yes, you can.
I want to say rest in peace to my Uncle Larry.
Oh yeah.
Because he came to one of my first shows ever. He came to my first big show. It was Apollo and SVSU, and I didn't do so well, but Uncle Larry, I feel he is in my heart always. Cause that was the funniest dude.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Bondella.
Yeah. So that's the last thing I wanted to say. Rest in peace to my Uncle Larry. And I know you watching me, and I know you living within me. That's all. That's it.
Yeah, we do have some comedians in the family, very funny family members. I wonder if all of the nieces and nephews are going to have that comedy background too.
I wonder so. I wonder that they're definitely goofy looking like us. So I don't know. So
I don't think any of you are goofy looking, but sometimes they act pretty goofy. You can believe that. You can believe that. Listen, I have been talking with Dick Dickerson. He is going to perform at the New Year's Eve event for at Rita's Soul Food Cafe, and that's at downtown Saginaw.
Correct.
If you were listening a few minutes ago, they had the announcement on the ad on about who is or what the event is and where you can get tickets. I hope that you will join me down there with my nephew Dick Dickerson as he performs. I don't know all of the other people that are on the that are going to be on the show, but Dick Dickerson will certainly be there. And so listen all this week for additional information right here on 107 about the other performers for the celebration at Rita's Soul Food Cafe right downtown in Saginaw. And congratulations to Rita on your big reopening and celebration. I wish you the very, very best. And I wish you the very, very best, RJ Dickerson, comedian.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that.
So when are you getting to town?
Huh?
When will you get in town? Are you gonna
that morning?
That morning. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I hope to see you before I see you that night.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to come home to show everybody all the work I've been doing.
All right.
I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, Dick Dickerson will be in the house at Rita's Soul Food Cafe on December 31st. Right downtown on Washington, across from Huntington Bank, the Huntington Bank building. I do not have the flyer right here because it's in my phone and I can't have my phone on while I'm in the studio. So please listen and please turn out for this event. You're listening to Community Connections, Community Talk for Community People. Join me right here next week. Be safe and have a great week leading up to the new year. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks, RJ.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Community Connections by the host, its guests, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the